What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tri-Sign Podcast. I'm Matt, and you join me for another kit video. Now, I thought we'd milked all these to death this season, but it turns out we've got more. As you may recall, probably 1 to 2 weeks before this was uploaded, Salford released a very limited 150 shirt run of a special edition mashup kind of top that blended a bunch of their old kits over the years into one shirt. Now, despite selling out in hours, we universally agreed it was one of the most disgusting things we'd ever seen. So with that in mind, we thought we'd take a look at what the worst kits that have been worn in the Super League era have been of all time. Now, we've tried to factor in kind of how edgy they would have been back in the day, and, that retro set maybe hasn't aged so well. I've also, to be fair, limited it to one entry per club, because some teams in particular made a damn good go at trying to get more than one in. So without further ado, let's jump into it, and the fifth worst shirt of all time, in my opinion, is the 2016 St Helens home shirt. Now, this is controversial, because surely a white shirt with a red V can only look so bad, right? The colours blend together well. It's a timeless design. So why did Saints make it up and put the V halfway down the shirt? This has everything I hate from a main sponsor. It cuts away into both the little accented V at the top and the main body of it. The shirt V looks too low down. It looks awful on the players, and to be honest, it looks even worse in the bigger sizes on the fans. It was just shambolic. It was the worst effort we've seen at a Saints home kit. Nothing's come close to how terrible this worked. It just didn't. It was shocking. I don't even know what to say other than that. It's hideous. Saints, thank you for never doing this again. At number 4, we've got the Wakefield Trinity 2023 Magic shirt. Now, this one, of course, was just a special edition shirt. Now, I don't think this had any particular charitable purpose, because, let's face it, there have been some very dodgy charity kits over the years, which I've kind of ignored those on the basis they were all for good causes. You only have to look at the MND kit Leeds put out last year. For me, the sponsors didn't work on it, but it was an iconic pattern. It was for a good cause. I'm not going to stand here and criticise that shirt. Likewise, I think we can all agree the second year of the Marvel shirts, where everyone had the same design but with a different superhero on the navy background, was hideous. But again, that was a league-wide thing. I've ignored it. For this one, Wakefield have no grounds to be let off. The colourway is a horrible dark grey, which doesn't get any lighter with a dark blue V on it. I like the fact the sponsoring is consistently in gold, however, against the grey doesn't work. You've got weird slanted sponsors, which, whilst I appreciate they've not intersected the colourway of the V, don't really fit together. I think if this shirt was the other way around, and we'd have had the navy blue base colour with the grey V, it could have looked better. And whilst I do like the diagonal strips and the embossed Trinity motif in the body of the shirt, for me, it just is too bleak and depressing of a shirt. And let's be honest, when this was on the pitch, you lost those fine details that otherwise would be redeeming. Is there probably worse out there? You can maybe argue it, but in terms of this era, and for a special edition shirt where you have a license to go crazy, it was underwhelming and it was incredibly boring. Now, at number 3, we're going to stick with the grey shirt, and this is the 2012 Huddersfield away shirt, because this is awful. Like, this is the first one I look at and think this is genuinely an awful kit in every respect. Because it looks like someone's gone out on Halloween and done some weird Hulk paintball on the front of it. Why? I don't get what the pattern is supposed to be. It's got one of those horrible half collar things on it, but admittedly that's not why it's on this list. And of all the colours, why would you put this on grey? It just makes no sense. Mate, you've got a bright green colour, you've got whites in there, brighten the purple up and at least put it on black or something. I don't know what Huddersfield were going for with this shirt. All I know is it doesn't work, and it's not aged well at all. I'm incredibly disappointed in you, Huddersfield, because you've had some really exciting alternate strips. I remember there was black, or I think it was a black one with bright blue cobalt lightning on the front of it. That was iconic. That's probably one of, if we were to redo this list as 5 of the best kits in Super League, that would be up there. This is not it. Just no. Don't ever repeat this. Huddersfield, you're in at number 3. Now jumping into number 2, and this is the team that of course inspired this entire video. I'm going over to Salford, who in 2020 came up with a ingenious idea. They thought for too long home kits have followed a simple form by being symmetrical, and they decided that they were going to break the mould. And instead of giving like crazy 80s, 90s football maximalism patterns, they came up with this. And it just fundamentally doesn't do anything. It's not a nice classic shirt. It's not retro in any real way, shape or form. You've got sponsors and badges intersecting lines all over the place. You've got this weird sash that doesn't go anywhere and changes in size. Then some almost girl upright looking things, but they have way too many lines across. It's weird, it's messy. A bit like I said about Huddersfield, I don't get the concept of the shirt. And whilst I will still berate Huddersfield for that design, they at least did this with their away kit, where they had a bit more of creative license to do something different. And whilst I might hate it, there might be a portion of their fans that would say that's one of their favourite ever shirts. And whilst that will still be true here with Salford, this is your home strip. This is what embodies your club and that season. A season that the Salford got to Wembley. And they turned up onto one of the grandest stages of them all in that. I'm quite glad the fans weren't there to witness it, because that is just not what a good home strip should be. Now, speaking of dodgy strips, this is honestly one of the worst things I've ever seen. And when I said there was a club that were desperate to get the entire list to themselves, that honour goes to the now defunct and re-emerged and everything Hull Sharks. Because what in the name of 1996 is this? Why has it got a massive cartoon shark on the front? And don't say because it's the name, because that makes perfect sense as to why branding is there. But you've got the shark in the logo. That's the point of a logo. We've then got a massive sponsor on here followed by an enlarged Hull Shark. And I just don't get it. It doesn't work. Again, this is where I tried to think back. In 1996, which I admittedly is before I was even on the planet, would this have looked cool? And I don't see it. I think it would have been tacky then. And whilst it's got this, it's retro vibe now, I still think it's tacky. And it's a real shame because the old school collar and the colourway on there looks incredible. But it's let down by, the front's one thing. And on the back, they've gone all out on the design and just put a shark's arse on the back of it. There's something incredibly poetic about somebody making a line break and you are literally watching their mascot's arse sprinting away from you. Even more so by the fact a shark has no legs and cannot run and would be dead on the pitch. But still, is it a good shirt? And the answer for me to this is no. For me, it's just horrible. This doesn't work again. And I'm quite glad that we don't see things like this anymore, and for all we will bully Hull FC for their current on-pitch performances, the kits have got a hell of a lot nicer than this Gates Hull Shark effort. So that's my top 5 worst Super League kits of all time. Obviously, some of you guys will love some of these shirts. Some of you probably have some of these shirts and will disagree with me. Let me know what your least favourites are. Let me know what your favourites are, and if you want to see me do a video on that and give you mine, then I'm more than happy to do so. Likewise, we can also do special edition shirts given the sheer number of things we've got available. Other than that, be sure to subscribe, stick around for what's coming up on the channel. We've got podcasts every Wednesday and more random stuff like this on a Saturday. And yeah, until next time, thank you for listening. Goodbye.